welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm sick. I'm very sick. I've got my favorite cough drops. I've got tissues. I'm a mess. It's totally fine. But I'm also doing a 24-hour reading challenge and I don't know if I opened it up. So hi, welcome back to my channel and let's get into it. Okay, so I already started this reading challenge and I pressed start yesterday on my timer. I did record it. I will clip it in, but I am at this point, hopefully you can tell or see whatever, I'm 6 hours. I'm 6 hours into my reading challenge. What's going on? I'm currently reading Loved One and Hamnet. I am thinking that I might, while I'm in this, start Wuthering Heights because the movie's coming out in a few weeks. And I also just recently downloaded from Janani from The Story Ain't Over, her publishing imprint. I think it's called Boundless Press. I recently downloaded, trying to show you the cover. Attempting to show you the cover. Okay. I recently downloaded Dust Settles North. I don't know if it's out. I don't know how I got access to it on Kindle, but that's what I'm working with. What's going on so far? Oh, I'm also doing the anti-brain rot reading challenge, and so I'm keeping a book reading journal, and I'll also have a critical media journal as well. And this is just like a notebook I repurposed, but I have Hamnet and Loved One because those are the ones that I've started. And so I basically like split the notebook in half, and I'm keeping half of notes on one side and half on the other. What's gone on so far that I can tell you about? Let me start with Hamnet. So I'm like 50 pages into Hamnet, having a good time. I'm a little upset at a lot of things that are happening. I'm trying to see if I can do a non-spoiled thing. I'm not good at it, but what I will say is that we're getting kind of multi-generational backstory. I really like how this is told, how the story is being told. It's like, it's in third person omniscient kind of, and it's just really interesting because when we're getting Hamnet's perspective, you're really sitting in it. And when you're getting the perspective of the tutor slash the father slash the husband, whatever, him and Hamnet think a lot alike, and so I've really been enjoying kind of getting their perspectives and seeing how all that comes together. I don't know how to not spoil things because I'm not good at this, but what I will say is like Hamnet's mother, her upbringing was awful and I feel for her, but I love it. And then I have a bigger update from this one, but let me get into that later because the children have a lot.
But actually, we always had that, right? Yeah. We've had it the whole journey. Wait, why didn't we even use it? Because the dinosaur just got given to us, and then we didn't even use it, and then we didn't know what happened. Actually, Mom, I was the one that made that. Now we have your favorite or netherite. Because I changed it into netherite. Cool. Cool or weird? You like netherite or no? Only when I like netherite. So we can do that netherite mod.
Okay. I wanted to give a quick update. I'm eating a piece of bread that I just made because I'm on my way to the chiropractor, and what's going on? I'm on my way to the chiropractor, and it's just been a really, really busy morning, I guess. And then my sisters found out I wasn't feeling well and descended upon me, which they do. And it's great. I'm really appreciative. They, one of them is making soup that I will enjoy once I'm home, and the other two they brought coffee and for me and my husband, which was so nice, and for my older sister. I'm switching glasses, and it was to be, I expected it to be sad, because when I was thinking about reading it, like, that was one of the pieces of feedback. I also expected to really root for kind of a romance, though, and without spoiling, that's not how I'm experiencing it. What I'm finding is that it's so deeply contemplative, though. Like, everything that Julia, who's the main character, is saying as she kind of narrates the story, it's like she tells you something that's happening, and then she like imbues that happening with deeper meaning, because something that she says is that turning 30 is like starting over in a way, and so was the loss that she's experiencing at the moment, but it's like the wrong kind of starting over, because you're too old for starting over to be like endearing anymore. And I feel like that was so relatable. And the other thing that I found just really interesting, well, I like that part of it, but I also like how, if you could, hey, please go. Oh my gosh. I also like that, how would I put it exactly? So she has this thing about starting over that she's working through, and that's hard and of course understandable. But the thing that I'm especially interested in is how she like just how she puts so much meaning in every single thing. Like, I don't know, I'm just really, really enjoying it. Like I was saying a little bit ago, I'm 6 hours in. I'm 100 pages into Loved One. I am about 50 pages into Hamnet. Loved One I've been reading hybrid, and even if I read it audio, I go back and I highlight the things that I was especially interested in or especially moved by, and that's been nice. I'm also going to be starting Dust Settles North, but I kind of want to wait to start that until I am either a little bit more through Hamnet or I've completely finished Loved One, because I want to make sure that I have like enough brain space, number one, and enough and then I have like the right notebook, because I think I told you guys what I'm doing. Janini's what's it called? Anti-brain rot reading challenge. Obviously I need it. And one of the things, there are these different rules to it, in terms of being as, being as diverse in your reading choices as possible. And I'll link back to her video so that you guys can kind of see. But Dust Settles North was in her imprint, or I think it might be her first release, I can't remember. And it takes off a couple of boxes for the anti-brain rot reading challenge, which is nice. And the other thing that I'm excited about is it keeps my ratio of like reading from BIPOC people or like diverse people groups, it keeps my like ratio in a better space, if that makes sense. I tend to read a lot from like BIPOC writers, because I read a lot of poetry, and most of my poetry is by people of color. But the only thing is, I have, like, through looking at the anti-brain rot reading challenge, I have realized that my fiction is not as broad as it could be, and not broad in terms of like only reading African American authors as well. Although it is really hard to read African American authors who are alive, or I find it difficult, because I tend to read more classics than anything else. And that's something that she also mentioned in her challenge, is like reading a Black author who's alive. But anyway, all of that aside, one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is how I can read more diversely, and not just in terms of my own community, but like in just cultures so when, even though I'm reading audio some of the time, when there's something that really strikes me, if I can't get to my notebook right away, I do make a little note in my phone, and then I go back and like I underline the passage that had excited me. I talk about in my notebook what I had like briefly discussed in my little note. And so that's been really important for me, and I think that I'm retaining much more of the story than I would have. I kind of want to do a spoiler vlog thing or a spoiler thing, and so I'll decide after this next clip if I just have to talk about what's going on, and then it'll be spoilery. But I think that's really it for now. So I'll give you another update. Hey, yes. Alright, so what's going on? I'm happy to report that I'm feeling much better than I was earlier when I was recording and then was in my car and all of that. So what had I last filled you in on? I was reading Loved One, but then a bunch of stuff happened and the day randomly got busy and I had a good old time. So Loved One, I took the cover off. Loved One. Loved One has been such a good time. What can I say about it? I'm gonna just hold this up so it's easier. I think I talked about it as much as I kind of wanted to, but just to add a little bit more color to it, I'm at the part of the book where I feel like we're kind of far away. Hang on. Okay, that's a little bit better. We zoom just a boop. Okay, so what's going on in Loved One? Basically what's going on is I really, really love, who do I love? Hi. I really, really love Julia. What's he gonna do? Okay. I love Julia. I feel like the longer the book goes on, the more I just love and appreciate her perspective. So basically what's happening is she is dealing with the loss of someone close to her, and she's trying to figure out what their love is or was, like what their relationship is or was. And I know I said this earlier, but I really have to like go back and talk about again how incredibly contemplative. I've done that thing where I've made the word not a word anymore. It's an incredibly thoughtful rumination that she's having. I know that sounds kind of like redundant, but it's like anytime she says something that's going on, she follows it up with, you know, why it means something, you know, why like this mundane thing happening in this little tiny moment is meaningful in some way, shape, or form. And it is always meaningful in like a really poignant way, which is really fun for me. I love that. What else is there that I should be saying? I don't know. I don't really know what else there is to say about it. I'm trying not to spoil. If you guys want me to spoil, you let me know if that's a good idea, and I will happily oblige. You know, I love spoiling things, but as of now, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Update. I went to the library to drop off some books that my kids were over, and I accidentally brought home a bunch of books with me, and let me show you what I got. So the first book I got is, The Bone Season. And I know nothing about Samantha Shannon. Obviously, her name is one of those names that like pops up in the book world quite a bit. And so I hear people talk about Samantha Shannon a lot, especially like Olivia Reads a Latte, but I know nothing about Samantha Shannon. And so I figured I'm really interested in trying out. I think there's this one book that's really long that I had wanted to read, and I can't remember, but I think this is newer. And so, I don't know if that's true, but I want to try it out. So I picked it up because I figured why not completely blow up my little baby TBR that I've got going, which I actually haven't quite built yet. Hopefully by the time this comes out, I've already put out a video building my TBR. We'll see what happens, but that's exciting. And then I've got You Again. You Again I heard Jack Edwards talk about a bit, and I want to say it was a couple years ago. I can't remember anything about it. That kind of makes me want to read it more. Honestly, I don't know why. What are we working with here? I want to see if it's like women's fiction or psychological fiction, suspense fiction. Okay, this sounds fun. This might give me like lit fic meets thriller or like psychological thriller vibes a little bit, maybe a tiny bit, maybe, possibly. I'm excited to try that out. I kind of want to try that out really soon. And then these other two. Everyone in this room will someday everyone in this room will someday be dead. I think that was Jack Edwards as well. I can't remember, but I remember hearing about it, and I don't know, I saw it and I had to have it. Okay. And then lastly, I've never heard about this book before, but it's called Chronicle of a Last Summer. Chronicle of a Last Summer. And then it says A Novel of Egypt, and it's by Yasmin El-Rashidi. And I probably should have said all their names, my bad guys. But this is just, I picked it up because initially it was pretty. It reminds me of Dust Settles North, which I'm about to start reading. And I just saw, it was pretty. I picked it up. I don't know. And I think what happened was, I haven't done the thing I did since I was a kid where I would just pick up a book and be like, that's what we're doing now, based solely on the cover and the vibes. And I just really wanted to participate in that, and so I told myself that it was okay, and I did, and now I am happy because I'm gonna read it probably soon. It looks really tiny. It is, oh my gosh, it's under 200 pages. I kind of think I should start it soon because maybe like getting an early win under my belt would be good, and in the interest of not overwhelming myself right off the bat, I think this could be a good time. So in addition to Dust Settles North, I plan on taking a gander at this guy. What did I say? I already told you that I was like six-ish hours into my 24-hour readathon, and so I'm going to film one more video, probably my like 2025 wrapped / September TBR situation. I'm gonna film it now, and then I'm gonna get back into the reading because I have a good 45 minutes of alone time, and let me tell you something about that. I'ma just soak it all up. I am. What is there else to say? Oh, the last thing I wanted to say is something I've been doing as I've been reading. I think I said this, but I've been reading with a journal, like pretty close. And so that means I'm stopping every so often. And so it might come across as like it's taking me a lot longer to read than it maybe normally does. And that's definitely true, but I do feel like my attention span is being supported better right now because I am journaling as I go, and it's investing me more in the story and the characters. It's helping me remember the plot, which is tough for me at times. I feel like I'm like vividly aware of everything that's going on in the plots of two different stories, more so than if I were reading one story at a time with no journal. And so I think that I'm doing good in that I think I'm doing good, and I want to continue to capitalize on my attention, and so I'm going to keep using the journal and just experiment and see how it takes me. Yeah, see where it takes me. I don't know. Okay, I will see you for another update in a little bit. I'm gonna get up and leave, but first I'm going to listen on my headphones because I have to do my kids' laundry super quickly because bedtime is approaching, y'all, and they will be going to bed on time today. So, gosh, you probably can't hear this now. Doesn't really matter if you can hear it. I just want you to know that I'm starting my timer, which is here. Well, first I'm gonna start the book. Voila. I hear my kids are screaming, it's fine. Nobody has ever felt as good as I am sort of almost feeling right now, and so I am going to update you on my like reading stuff. Ignore the Vaseline, like I'm not putting anything else on my face. I sound like trash, but I promise I'm feeling better. And oh, I had to do their hair today. This is their hair box. I wanted to tell you about what's going on in Loved One, and I think it's too late to spoil, but I just want you to know that Julia was lying to us and to herself, and we thought that she was just wanting to like mourn the passing of a friend, but in fact something is revealed. Something happens, and they might not just be like, they might feel more for each other. And this is not like a spoiler, because the whole entire time you're kind of wondering what it is they feel for each other, and like there's more to the story. And it's when when something happens, it's confirmed. And now all I want is for, number one, Julia to tell the truth, and not just for the sake of the person who she's speaking to, like Elizabeth, who's Gabe's ex-girlfriend, but for her own sake. You want to find out Gabe's ex-girlfriend like a full year before he died, and so like nothing nefarious or weird is happening, but like you want to know what it is she is needing to be honest about, and less about honesty to Elizabeth, more about honesty to herself. And I just don't really know what to do, how to feel. I'm like 8.5 hours into this reading challenge. I'm halfway through the book. I'm still at the same point in Hamnet, just because I got so enthralled in everything that was going on in Loved One. And if this human Aisha Mahara doesn't write another novel, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because right now, I mean, I haven't read the ending, but this entire half, the whole way through this book so far, I haven't wanted to put it down. And I don't know. And I like the questions she asks. I think that's nice. So that's where I'm at. I don't know what to do or how to think, but let's go make some of the things that I drink in the morning, and hopefully they'll warm me up. I'm gonna have some bone broth first, and then I'm going to make my water bottle and my matcha, and I'm probably going to sit with my kids because it sounds like they're awake, and we're gonna get some school stuff done, and then I'm gonna read. And I might even go to the gym today. I've been really wanting to go. It's been like nearly a week since I could go because of just how I've been feeling, and so a lot of things are happening, and yeah, mostly in the book. All right, I will touch base later with another book update. Why am I so weird? Okay, it's been a journey, and I want to explain myself. It's just been a really, really weird and long weekend or week. I don't know. I was really sick, and then there were some things going on with the kids. Like, it was a whole, I don't know why I made that sound. It was a whole thing. And so I know this is late. We're not surprised though. So, okay, onward. Or here we go. Okay, so I've not been updating you. I'm sorry. I am about 21 hours into this challenge. I have finished, what did I finish? I finished a book that I had started, which is, what is it? It's a, what is it? It's the last book of ACOTAR. I finished that. I had like a couple pages left. So I finished that. I started and finished Loved One. And then I started, and I'm almost finished with The Women by Kristen and Hannah. And it's been an adventure. So Loved One I did kind of hybrid. I read a little bit of it via audio, and I would say I read most of it via like physically, and that's been really nice. I've also been participating in like the anti-brain rot reading challenge, which I have talked about in videos, but they're not out yet. So I've been really, really good about Loved One and doing the like slowing down for Loved One and taking a lot of notes and getting my reactions and all of that stuff. And so what I want to do as like to kind of round this all off is I want to close the loop on that. I've been writing in my reading journal, but I want to write in my critical media journal on Loved One, and maybe I will put that on. I have a Substack now. I've not written anything on it, and so I'm thinking of publishing the Loved One critical reading analysis on Substack, so maybe I'll do that. So Loved One, really enjoyed it. I'm also reading Hamnet. I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm like a third of the way through. I may finish it before the end of this vlog because I'm almost finished with The Women. I think what happened was my Libby hold came through right before I finished Loved One, and I just couldn't resist. And at first I didn't know if I was even going to finish The Women because first few chapters I was not really having that much fun, and I was like, like, I don't know, it's always the same with me. I'm like, I can't, it's hard for me to get down with a protagonist from the beginning, but like by a third of the way through or so, I'm here for you. Hamnet is different. I'm here for everybody in Hamnet like right now from jump, and so I don't know if that's just because of the style of writing or what, but that's where we are. So finished A Song of ACOTAR, A Court of whatever, the last ACOTAR book. Finished it, enjoyed it. Finished Loved One. Am in the midst of about to finish The Women, and I may get through Hamnet as well. So we'll see what happens, or maybe we'll turn this into like a 48-hour reading challenge or something, because that could also be fun, and I haven't done one of those yet. So we'll see what happens. I'm fighting for my life with this allergy situation. I feel like I just started breathing again from that whole week last week, and now I'm like going through it, and so we're hoping for the best. Oh, I got my book for my nutrition class that I'm taking, my nutrition certification, that just shipped, so I'll have another kind of book to read. I'm gonna be reading that one, and This Is Your Brain on Food as well, and so maybe maybe one of those will be featured. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not planning on finishing an entire textbook obviously, but maybe I could read a little bit of it and I could include that as part of this challenge. But I think that's it. I forgot to say that where my child does therapy, where I also used to do therapy, the guy sells honey, which is awesome. The main like practitioner guy, the owner of the business. And so we picked up our honey for probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks. We don't keep honey for long. We go through it really fast, especially during allergy season. Oh, this is like a little echo. So just let this be your I don't know if this will make it better. Okay.